those inner dreams, those things that impassion you. When my husband and I were starting our company, it was just the two of us, and we took long walks and we talked about our dreams for this company. We thought about the problems we wanted to solve, the types of investors that we would seek, the types of customers that we would seek, and we spent a lot of time thinking about what kind of culture we wanted to create. And we daydreamed about having a place to work where people loved coming to work, where they could achieve their potential, where we wouldn't make any of the mistakes that our managers had made on us or that we had seen. But we also thought, if we were successful, what kind of a corporate citizen would we be? So we sort of put that to the side, though, because we had to do first things first. We had to actually succeed, build a product, grow the company, get investors, and provide a return on that investment. Well, years later, after we had overcome a lot of challenges, and I've spoken about this before because my husband and I got down to the last $30 in our bank account. We had each gone without a salary for 12 months so that we could pay our employees. And we really had to find our courage. I had a Post-it note at my desk that I looked at every day, and it was a saying by Margaret Mead. And it was this: never doubt that a small group of people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And I tell you, I hope that encourages you, because I would look at that some days, and I would take a deep breath, and I would say, we're going to change the world, I just know it. We're just going to stick with it. Well, flash forward, IPO, most successful software IPO in history. A great privilege to be part of seeing a return on investment for all of those early investors who really took a chance on us. And they did really, really well. And I sometimes think, oh, I wish I had done as well as they did, because I'd like to build a couple more schools, like a Thomas Jefferson High School. But we did fine. And do you know, some of them did go on and build schools. That's the great, amazing thing about the virtue and value of business. It creates wealth, so that that wealth can in turn be used in the community. So getting back to my point, that idea of having a company that was a good corporate citizen, the night of our IPO, some of our team members, our employees, approached us and they said, what are we going to do now? We're a for real company. We're a publicly traded company. How are we going to be a good corporate citizen? So the idea resurfaced, not just with us, but with people that we worked with. And within a couple of weeks, we had fashioned this idea, which was pretty groundbreaking back in the day. The founders and a few others, founding investors, set aside equity that we had in the company. And we started something called the Web Methods Foundation. And because my husband and I were the first in our families to get an education, he's the first one ever, and I am the first woman in my family, we understood the power of education and how it opens up opportunities for everyone. And it did, and it continues to open up opportunities for me. And we started to think about the low-income and disadvantaged kids in our region. And we thought, if we could help them with their education, they too can have the opportunities that education brings. So we invited employees of the company to form grant teams and to help us do due diligence. Because I didn't have a background in this, of making grants or working as an executive in nonprofits. So we actually went around and we asked some of the best and brightest folks in the region, how do you run a nonprofit? How do you make grants? How do you know who to support? And so we received training, our employees received trainings, and they formed grant teams, and we started making grants. And we made dozens and dozens of grants, and a couple of interesting things happened. Turns out, most of these nonprofits are formed by entrepreneurs, people like you and me, who see a problem and they say, I can be part of the solution. People I admire so much, because these are people who could be earning really big salaries in the private sector, but they are just generous. Turns out also that if you want to help an at-risk youth or someone from a low-income family in education, the same principles that we know work in the private sector work for low-income families. Achievable, measurable goals, hard work, mentoring and networking, achievable, measurable goals, transparency, stick-to-itiveness, perseverance, having someone believe in you. And so this is what we saw. Some of our investments were in organizations like Second Chance Employment, the first of its kind, a nonprofit started by Dr. Ludi Green. It's an employment agency that helps domestic violence victims, women who have been abused. So it welcomes these women with open arms, gives them training and practical skills, gives them professional clothes to wear, teaches them how to do an interview, and these women are now working at banks and in professional companies throughout our region. Or Higher Achievement, that takes at-risk youth and gives them an after-school program. And you know, the Higher Achievement kids go to college. They might live in the worst neighborhood in the city. And if you look at all the houses in the city, the kids that go to Higher Achievement go to college. So these programs work. And I just want to encourage you to think about the dreams that you have and the things that you've been imagining, the things that you're passionate about. I was just talking to Lana about that.